So in this video, we'll take a look at the Events plugin. We're using the Events Calendar, which is a free plugin, and there is a premium version you can get if you need more features. But for this tutorial and for most cases, the free version is good enough. So I've added a couple of events, and on the events page then you can see how they're listed. You can change how they're listed. You can actually display like a calendar. You can roll over days and see any events on that day. But I've just gone for the default view of displaying one event underneath the other in the order of the date that they're on. Okay, so we can just jump into the home page as well, and I'll show you that. So in the WordPress admin pages, we went to the home page, and I've already created a new container. I've just given it a label of events so I know what it is. This is just for the back end of the website. You don't see this in the front end. Then I've added a title, and then I've added the events element. So I just clicked element, I looked for events, or you can filter up here, events, selected it, and pretty much left everything as is. I changed the number of events to display to 3, and the max columns to 3 as well. So that's going to display one event in each column, a total of 3. And we leave the categories blank, so it's going to show events for all categories, even though we only have one category here at the moment anyway. You can check some settings like display past events if you want. So there's some other options in there as well. And once you publish that, then you can display events automatically on the homepage. So anytime you add a new event, you don't have to go into the homepage and do it, it'll just be there. So we'll take a look at our homepage, and we can see that I've got 2 events there, and I've still got a space where we can put another event. So let's go and do that. Okay, so in our WordPress admin, if we go to events should be installed, you should see it on the left hand side if the plugin is installed. You can click on add new, or if you're on the events page itself, you can click add new here. So you can see we already have event 1 and event 2 sample events there, and you can easily edit any of the information in those by just clicking into it as you would with a post or a page. So let's go ahead and create a new event, and we'll call this one sample event 3. Whoops, let's paste in our text. Sample event 3. And we can see our permalink has just defaulted to S now because I didn't have that text in it. So I'm just going to remove that and click OK, and it should auto generate a new link for us there based on what we had typed in here. Perfect. Okay, so we just put in some dummy text there, but here's where you put in a description of what the event is, what it's about, and then down here you can configure date and time and things like that. So I'm going to choose a date and time well into the future. I'm going to choose, say, the 16th of December 2029. And we can set a time to and from, or when it starts and when it ends. You can even set a time zone if it's going to be in a different country, but I'm going to leave it as the default, which is Europe. So if you didn't need a different time zone, you can just select a time zone, but I'm going to leave it as is. You can set all day if it's an all day event. So I'm just going to say between the hours of 9:30 and 12:30. Actually 12. Okay, so it's only a kind of a half-day event. Then we can add a location. So you can add a new location, and you can also add locations and venues up here as well. So you can add categories very easily. You can create venues and organizers as well, or you can create them on the fly. So I added one, or I created one on the fly as I was doing it. I just call it sample venue. And we can check to display a map. So I'll leave those 2 checked. Same with organizers. You can create an organizer on the fly, or I've already created one, just call it web niche, and that'll populate then with some information based on that organizer. And you can even edit that venue and organizer on the fly here as well, and you can also go in and edit them here as well. You can give it a custom URL, so if this particular event has like a link to Eventbrite or Ticketmaster or something like that, you can add in a link there, or if the event has its own website, you can link there. So for this example, I'll just say google.ie. If there is a cost for the event, you can put in a currency symbol. The default is euro, so if it's euro, you can leave that blank and just put in the cost. We'll say it's 45 euros. If there is no cost at all, you can leave this field blank. Okay, so we've got our date, our time, our venue, organizers, and the cost of the event. We've got our description, we've got our title. Now on the right hand side, you can tag it if you want. You can just display by tags. I'm going to select the general category, or if you want, you can create a new category on the fly, or you can create a new category over here as well. So I'm just going to say the general one, that's fine. I generally leave all of these blank, but you can check whichever ones are appropriate for you, and we'll select a featured image for the event. Okay, I'm going to choose this bottle in the sand here. I'll just wait for that image to pop in here. There it is, and we will publish. Okay, so like I said, you can go into venues or organizers or events, and you can edit a venue very, very easily. So first of all, let's go back to our upcoming events, and if we refresh our page now, and if we refresh our home page, we should see our new event pop in here. And there it is. We can click through to that and see the full details. So there's all our text, there's our details, our cost, and the date, the time, the cost, the website, which links to Google, the organizer, the venue, and a Google map. Okay, and if we go here, we can see in our events page as well, our new event has been added there too. And so let's just say, for example, that the venue got the phone number wrong, so let's just change that to all zeros, just so we can see the change. The link can stay the same for now, but you can change any of that information and then just hit update to update that sample venue, and you can also rename it as well. So if we go back to our event now, we should see the phone number change on a page refresh. So I'm just going to hit F5 on my keyboard to refresh the page. And oh yeah, sorry, it wasn't the organizer, it was the venue we changed. So there's our number changed there. Okay, great. And let's go back to events. And we can see there's our 3 events, and we can easily click into any one of them and update them. So I'm going to just update the title of our sample event. Actually, I'll rename it to test event 4. So I want to change our permalink now as well. So I'm just going to edit that, remove what's in it, and click OK, and let it generate a new one based on what's in this text field here for us. So there, it's done that. You can update the text, you can update everything just as you would before, and hit update. And now when we come back, we should see that when we refresh the page, we'll have a new title on our event. So it's called Test Event 4 now. And on the event page itself, if we refresh that, we should get a 404 because this URL no longer exists. Or actually, the system knows to redirect to the new URL, which it has done for us in this case, so that's even better again. And yeah, on our homepage then that information will be updated automatically as well, so you don't need to go back to the homepage, or if you're displaying anything in your footer down here, if you're displaying the events in your footer, you don't need to go and change any of them. It's all done automatically for you once you change it. So there you go, it's updated there for us. Okay, so that's a brief overview of the events calendar. Fairly straightforward, just like a post or a page. You can easily create events, edit events, and delete events. So let's just go ahead and do one final task, and that is to delete an event. So I'm just going to go to all events. There's test event 4. I no longer need it. I'm going to delete it. And now it's in my bin. And you can leave it in your bin. And when your bin starts to pile up, then you can empty everything in your bin. So I'm just going to delete it now. Or I could delete like a bulk action and delete permanently. But because there's only one, I just deleted the one there. Okay, so that's the event calendar.